Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 28th of November. Black Friday as we know it, so hopefully you're renew your subscriptions. If you've got TradingView, there's a link if you haven't got TradingView, but below the video here on YouTube. But there is a link for up to 80% discount depending on what you plumb for. Personally, I mean, it's 260 quid for the year on the premium service. Well, it's more than a year; it's actually 13 months. I renew on this on this day or I say on this day, on this week. I actually did it earlier in the week. Saved over 500 quid, so it's well worth looking at. It's cheaper to buy the premium than it is the other systems any other time of the year, so it's a bargain. Anyway, there we go. So let's have a look at the markets then. Anyway, that's my best deal today trading wise. I'm looking at these markets and thinking I ain't going to be doing too much. Admittedly, I'm out first thing this morning, or earlyish this morning, but I don't really fancy these markets. Apparently the CME was closed because of technical difficulties stopping some trading on the futures, US futures, etc. So equity markets was disturbed by that. So well, if that comes back into play, we'll see, but I'm not too keen on doing too much. It's Friday, and I call it Don't Give It Back Friday, any Friday, because so often you're looking for that trade and the markets go a little bit withery. And I'm just looking at 60-minute. The euro hit this stage here. We're sort of looking at this. If it breaks the lows of yesterday there, that will give us a more significant lower high and suggest further downside structurally will have changed from the trend that was running up there. It's walked its way outside. Would that say anything? I'd say the overall picture there is all quite ugly, but it is, I mean, it's 7:57. It is selling off at the moment. I never take it before at least quarter past, normally half past, because I just don't trust the early morning moves. We often get fake moves, and this is pre 8 o'clock. We're seeing this run through. Just be careful at 8 o'clock. It can all switch round and go the other way. Okay, the pound from a daily perspective is yesterday put the doji in there. Everything was light and soft yesterday in real terms, and you can see it had come down into 9 o'clock, and then it just bounced from that sort of period, and then just pretty much went sideways. I was looking for excuses to get long on them in a sense, but never really found it particularly drawing yesterday. And again, on these 2 days, it's a bit like trading on Christmas Day effectively, or Boxing Day today, perhaps, the way the markets often react. Yes, we get volume in there and some volatility at times, but it's variable. Anyway, the pound also coming off at this stage, but be very careful just trying to jump aboard and finding yourself in a trade you don't want to be. I'm not really liking the pattern they're trading at this stage. I'm looking at dollar yen. This is a complete mess. I mean, it's just really from yesterday morning 8 o'clock bar, and then it's ugly. Don't want to be involved in that sort of trading. Aussie dollar was looking positive yesterday. When I looked at it first, I was waiting for, this was my favoured pair, for waiting for the break of the R1. It never happened for yesterday. Has gone past that level this morning, but it doesn't count today. It was only for 1 day only while the pivots were there. Today it's, well, if anything, there's a divergence across the top here, and it's looking a little bit soft, but that would need the break of the lows here below the 50. Again, I'd be amazingly patient on this. It's 8 o'clock now, and you can just see it just pipping in a little green candle there, and you can see the same on the euro. And this is why I don't charge into anything run you back to the euro here if I can, he says. That's weird. There you go. It was flicking backwards and forwards on my other screen. I was looking back, looked back, and then it's gone red again. So it's a bit jittery there, but can be quite an ugly time to trade. The US dollar CAD it looked like it had scope to continue to the downside yesterday, but from where was a difficult one. It's just taking a bigger time frame view of this, or intermediate time frame. As I said yesterday, it did the lower high there, but for largely going sideways here, so of no real interest for me at the moment. New Zealand dollar, well, this is going to be pretty much same as the Aussie. Yep. So got the divergence from across the tops there, kicking in. It was going to give a lower high, has broken the low between the, is it it was just on the low of the two, which would be a trigger on the short side, but it's also sitting here on its hourly 50 here and trying its best to push back up again. As I said, it's going to take something special to get me in today into these markets. Dollar Swiss, big picture here. Maybe it's catching a bounce again off that yearly pivot. Shorter time frame, it looks quite choppy and quite messy, and you can see it on the hourlies here at this stage. Again, it's too easy to get drawn into something here, only for it to come back in and either stop you out, taking the lows out if you're putting your stops around that area. Again, probably best left alone. Currency pair that gave me a trade yesterday was Euro Yen, believe it or not, looking at the price action here, but there's a little setup I have. It's automatic, and I was saying in the room, I've thought about switching it off. Actually, it was the day before. I was thinking I might switch it off tomorrow, and forgot to switch it off. And well, fortunately, with this little move here, it hit the profit target for it, but it's looking decidedly choppy at the moment and quite ugly since things livened up again here. So mostly on these currencies at this stage, if things change around and we start getting some volumes through, etc., great, but at this stage it doesn't look too inviting. Looking at gold, it's up nearly, well, so over 0.5% this morning, continuing the ride up there. It was a slow old day for it yesterday, no surprises there. Not really going too much. As I said, the CME was closed, so anyone trading the futures on it would have been stuck there. Well, it's not on the CME, it is on the CME, but anyway, oil continuing to drift to the upside, but the bigger picture still very much to the downside. But still seeing this sort of divergence play potential. Well, actually it looked like it had been triggered overnight there a little bit, so perhaps we'll see a bit more of a continuation. But it's not a morning trade. In fact, at this moment, yep, it's closed. There you go. Ain't working because CME is closed for technical difficulties. So you go, won't be doing anything there. I think you'll find the S&Ps may be doing the same. We'll see if they've you see how pinched things are there. No trading, and yeah, it's closed. So you won't get any futures pricing coming through on these on that basis. Technical difficulties. FTSE. So FTSE was trying to push more up on its own yesterday by the looks of things. It's in play there with a divergence. Sorry, I'll show you on here because I haven't got the indicator on the bottom. There you go. There's the divergence off over the RSIs. You see the RSI data lower here, but I wouldn't trade it unless it broke the low between the two highs, and it's probably going to be quite thin trading anyway, even though it is the FTSE, I know. The DAX is off a little bit. It's off to a little bit of a correction at the moment, but that could soon zip the other way. It's all a bit iffy. Maybe it will break down a little bit more. So looking across, this is the 4 hourly on it. Just looking at what's happening there. I'm not surprised to see little retracements and a divergence kicking there, but on the hourly time frame, don't even fancy this one this morning. This is either way, it's just not ready for me. So bit of a quiet day. Personally, I'm not going to trade today. I've already made a decision there. I will turn my auto trader off this morning, so I'm going to leave it where it is at the moment. Up for the month. I'm going to keep up for the month and leave it there. So I wish you a good day's trading, and I will catch you. I'll catch you on Monday, and for back to normality. Well, almost. Right. Take care. Bye for now.